I've always been a fan of superheroes and comic books, not because they have superpowers or they could fly, but because they have one very beautiful quality, which is selflessness. Anything can be done with the most powerful of all superhero abilities, which is our willpower. Human beings have brain power, and we can solve anything if we put our mind to it. For example, I'm bringing on my own case. When I was 21, I was out of a job because of the September 11 event that happened in 2001. The company that I was working with closed, and we were all out of jobs. At that moment, my first child, Gia, was on her way, and I was unemployed without any money for support, and I didn't have the proper education at the moment. Nonetheless, I set myself a path. I always dreamed of opening a software and development company here in Puerto Rico to create jobs and to help my friends to gather some jobs. I did so even though a lot of people told me that I wouldn't be able to do it without formal education and the money. 8 years later, I sold Integratech to a public company, and I achieved my dream of having a successful company here in Puerto Rico. Those words that are up there was the framework that I used to actually achieve, and it's very simple to complete, right? You dream, you plan, you build, then you achieve. It might sound very simple, but it's very powerful. Since you're going to be all day here sitting down, let us all say them together, please. Dream, plan, build, achieve. Thank you. So I'm going to be sharing a little bit of the tips that have helped me through this way, which was a very tough, because as I said, I basically had no financial support to build my corporation. So what were the things that I used for me to actually getting up there here in Puerto Rico, which is has a tough financial crisis right now also. So what were the things that I used, or what were the things that helped me to achieve that success? For example, let us talk about the snowball effect. Big projects, big wins. Having success is just a string of small wins. For example, when you achieve a good score in that exam, graduating for college, when you start helping people, those are actions that start working on your momentum for your snowball. Community groups and clusters, for example, were great ways for me to network, great ways for me to build my network of customers and to achieve success story, to develop my leadership skills that I use to actually have employees and eventually gain momentum and gain greater projects. Why do you need to be part of a cluster? Why do you need to be part of a community group? Well, that's how you develop your networks. What are networks for, and why do we need networks? Networks, for example, will help you achieve to polish your ideas. Meeting people, when you meet great people, for example, those could be your future employees, those could be your future customers. So by having that network and investing the time on it, it will be very beneficial for you. What are the networks that you can exploit right now? Your school, your universities. When there's trade shows, art shows around, those are all examples of where you can start building your network right now. Recruiting is a very important part of the process that helped me to achieve success. When I recruited, you have to all the time understand that you have very little time in your life, right? So we don't want people wasting of our time, nor do we want to invest our time in the incorrect people. So the first thing that you need to do if you're a good recruiter or you want to develop fast your projects and anything that you set your mind to set out and do, you have to learn the difference between what is positive people and negative people. So you can start by doing a small exercise, a small sorting exercise that I devised. For example, I divide the people that are around me in 3 circles: stars, asteroids, and black holes. Stars, and I'll explain that a little bit more. Stars are the people that shine, could be future mentors, are people that I harmonize my ideas with. This is the people that give you oxygen when you're feeling down, right? Asteroids are people that you could influence. They're building blocks. They could be future employees. They could be future customers. It's the people that you can relate to and sway. Black holes are the people that have a negative perspective, right? Not necessarily bad people, but might have a different perspective than you. You might have been a conflictive personality with them. So it's important for you when you start in a project to know where you are and who your people are. Because how do you turn black holes, right, and put them to work for you? How do you do that? How do you accomplish it? What you do is by knowing your teammates, you actually sync up with the stars, right? And then you generate the positive gravity towards others that will actually attract the black holes and start inspiring them to come to you. When you actually do things and you are successful, okay, what that does is that it brings attention, positive attention from you to the people, and it attracts them. It shows people that you practice what you preach. It is super important for time management that you are a good recruiter, okay? So if, again, time is short, then we must pass it in our life with the people that are positive or people that will actually cooperate with you. This is important not only in business, in your love life. It is important in your education. It is important in your work. For you to actually pick the environment where you're going to be working with, it is important that you are a good recruiter and that you set yourself a list of the things that you want and the things that you don't want. After the time, you're going to start seeing that that list starts building up, both in the things that you like and the things that you don't like in people. And great leaders, what they do is that they manage time correctly and they invest time in the people that needs time invested in. So, in my recent projects, I've been trying to achieve what people say that are impossible things, right? Like, for example, I don't have any formal studies in the university, but I will be working, for example, with the universities in Puerto Rico to update their curriculum. Why? Because I'm part of the technology industry. They need updating, and what we're going to do is use the industry to give them feedback on what needs to get done for this to actually happen, okay? So, for example, what are clusters and how can they help you right now? Clusters are groups of companies that aggregate to add value to the industry. For example, here in the technology industry in Puerto Rico, we set out and we built a technology cluster. Our goal there was to actually go to the United States and to get federal contracts, which are bigger contracts than what we have going on right here, bring those projects and that money locally, so then we can create more jobs in innovation-driven projects in Puerto Rico. We started with only 5 companies, it grew, and eventually we have 50 companies right now that are participating in the cluster. So what have been the results, for example, of working there? As I told you, we're going to be working directly with the universities to update the curriculums, which is going to give more opportunities to you, the youth, to actually better use the money that you're investing in education. A second example is we set out to go and get a big customer. Clusters, if you unite the companies, you can tackle bigger projects than you can do on your own. So we did so. For example, right now, a bid of $600 million is being worked by various of the cluster companies. They were selected by a very big customer, and we're working on that right now. That is a big accomplishment that we couldn't have done on our own, but we did so through the cluster. Clusters don't have to be, for example, only technology companies. You can do a cluster, for example, of agriculture. That will help you to go to politicians and to gain their trust and to actually put projects forward that you wouldn't on your own. So, I think that one of the most important things that I want to share with you today is that you can achieve impossible things by learning to work with others. As you can see in the image, for example, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, they are all awesome superheroes, right? But when they work together, they achieved impossible things. The same is with you right now. All the youth, right? When you develop yourself, you are a superhero in the making. But if you work together with other superheroes and you unite, then you will achieve great things. So, when you start working with groups, they ask me to talk to you a little bit about what can you do to do better team building and to work better in groups. I have gathered 7 of the things that I think that are the most important things that have made me work better with team members. Celebrate team members' success. There is no I in the word team. Try to keep your egos in check. Yes, ego is important to get your ideas out there. Ego is important to define yourself. But when you're working in a team, make achievements part of the team and also the losses. Learn how to develop value propositions. What is a value proposition? When you want to achieve a project to a customer, you want to build your own product, anything that you want to get done, you have to sell it to people because you can't do things on your own. When I develop my project and I develop a product, it's fine, but if I want to sell it, I would have to do a value proposition. People concentrate many times on just executing, but you have to build a value proposition. Great builders, such as, for example, the Macintosh, when they invented the iPod, Steve Jobs, he was great at building a value proposition to his company, to his industry. He set himself a deep goal. I'm going to change the world forever. I'm going to build the best gadget. But he had to build a value proposition for his team because he needed brilliant people to actually achieve that. And then he built a great value proposition for us, the customers and the consumers, that he was truly making that great product. Work meetings should be organized and stick to schedule. Basically, if you put meetings out there when you're working in a group and you tend to take a long time and you're disorganized, people will tend to sway from them and not want to work with you. Provide constructive, not negative feedback. This is very important. When you're in a group and you're going to provide feedback, the difference between constructive feedback and negative feedback is that constructive feedback always provides some kind of an insight of how can it be done better or how can you fix it. People that always just throw out their negative vibes and just tell what the problems are but without any kind of constructive solution then tend to be seen negatively by the group. Avoid those. When you talk and you're going to give feedback about something that someone is doing, focus on what they did and focus on how can do it better. Don't judge people, correct actions. In a group, it is very important to never judge people. If you want to construct leaders, you want to construct your team, please don't judge the people, correct the actions. What do I mean by that? Somebody might say a racist slur, just putting one of the worst environments that you could be in. Talk about the action that they did. Don't talk about the person. Don't say he's a racist. He said a racist comment. There is a much difference in that, and that will help you to build your team. Know the difference. The last point I'm going to be talking today is leadership development must be systematic. What do I mean by that? It is great for me, for example, to develop as an entrepreneur. But the most important part for society is all that you learn, you must teach. You must build leaders. If we want to fix this society, and I have faith in all of you, we must teach other people to be good. We must teach what we know. We must pass it forward. So if you want a corporation and you want it to stand for decades, you need to develop leadership within your group. Universities, we need to develop employers and not employees. That is one of the biggest fights that I have here. If you want a better Puerto Rico, we must own it. We must own the corporations that are here. Okay? So that is very important. Leadership development must be systematic. So, for my final remark, I see a group of people here full of superheroes, right? In the making and successful people. So I just want to leave you one last thought. What our country right now doesn't need superheroes or politicians to come and save it. What our country really needs is that you guys develop into those superheroes, into those leaders, and you come and save it. Always remember this. The communities and not the politicians are the real leaders of positive and systematic change. Thank you very much for your time. And may you always, one last thought, I'm sorry. May you always enjoy your most beautiful dreams while you're awake.